What do you find the most satisfying and pleasurable in a sports fight? Is it when your favorite fighter wins? Or is it when the fighter you hate the most gets beat up to hell? Well, the answers can differ, but let me tell you about my most satisfactory moment. It is when a cocky fighter gets destroyed. Whether he's my desired fighter or not, but if he starts acting like a smug, then I would like to get his ass kicked. Here are some smuggy players getting destroyed. These lead to consequences, but when the opponent is a WBC World Super Welterweight Champion, you gotta be careful what you say about him. This is a lesson I get to learn from Cocky Harrison. This was a press conference before the match when the cocky boxer tried to be self-contained and said, "I could beat your ass whenever I want to. Let us listen closely to the conversation." Now, let's see the after effects of this conversation. After about 2 hours, the match started for World Super Welterweight title. Jermell Charlo was in full rage, trying to teach this dude a lesson which he will never forget. Harrison tried to take down Charlo, but he defended, and as Harrison tried to retreat, he punched him hard and knocked him on the ground. After a little while, they again face each other, but Charlo did him again, knocking Harrison for the second time. In the third round, he gets beat up the same way, and that was his final chance. If he gets knocked out for the fourth time, the match will finish. But all the harsh things he said to him, he wasn't stopping by then till he knocked him out for the fourth time, and Jermell Charlo was held the second-time World Super Welterweight Champion. The Thai Fighter. Try not to make funny faces during the match or mock your opponent in front of him during the match. When this fighter tried to take down, the Thai Fighter countered, and instead of attacking, he started his cockiness. He was making funny faces and was teasing the rival that you can never take me. He was dancing in front of him and was making fun of him. This was when the opponent took action and left him stunned on the floor. The Leg Locker. Name most of the dangerous moves in MMA. Of course, that is no other but submission. When this fighter tried to leg lock his opponent, he started making funny faces to tease his opponent. As feedback, he started hitting him on his forehead. But every time he would do it, the opponent will just change his facial expression. Do you know what happens when you underestimate your opponent? You pay hard for it. When he got out of submission, the smug tried to get him on his feet again, but he wasn't ready for it. That's when he uniquely knocked the cocky. Well, he never dared to mock him again for sure. The Octagon Dancer. In a UFC match, it's somewhat rare to see a fighter dancing in front of the opponent, and there's a very good reason for it. MMA is all about quickness and sharpness. Whenever you drop sharpness by a single in the middle of the fight, this fighter starts dancing to show how cool and furious he is. There he did that, and it took almost a single second to kick his opponent and knock him on the floor. He then rushed over and landed a few punches, but he was long gone. No monkey business. When the rivals face each other before the match, in some cases, it can result in funny faces from both of the players. But in some rare cases, they start a fight before the official call. This is a meetup before the match, where one player turns over the opponent and starts saying, "You're going down." But fate had something opposite in mind. In a few moments after starting the match, the black fighter punched him hard using his right hand and knocked him down. The referee looked over him to see if he can still fight, but he's taking a ride in outer space. I am so cool. Just like every other fighter in this video, he did the same thing. He taunted his opponent that despite your punches, you can't take me down. I don't know why would someone do such a thing. Despite doing it once or twice, he started doing it in a real time frame. But as you guys expect, it took only a single jab to put him down for real. What are you gonna do? In this MMA fight, the cocky was not just showing his cockiness and stubbornness, but was also challenging his opponent. He was like, "What are you gonna do? There's not a single thing you can do to put me down. Well, instead of getting manipulated by him, you should act smart and smooth. That is what his opponent did. He punched him hard without him knowing he was coming after him. The one with survival mode. In the matches till now, there was only one cocky fighter, but in this match, both of the fighters were cocky in their way. At the start, the fighter in red was showing his cockiness in a different, cool kind of way, while the other fighter's survival mode kicked in. He tried his best to make it safe, and as the round finished, despite going to their corners, the purple fighter was still attacking, until he was forced to go back. Well, the match didn't go further than the second round. In the second round, the red fighter knocked him down and won the match. Well, if you ask me, both of them were showing the same cockiness, but the winner was showing in a different, cool kind of way. A power shot match. You might have seen some furious and long-length matches, but in the following match, there was also cockiness. Before the startup, the fighter was challenged by the one in black, and as the match started, he knocked him out on the first try. But the match wasn't over. They began giving each other some hard time by jabbing and quick hooks, but the match was just getting interesting. After a long time, he finally finished the cocky fighter with ultimate shots. What a fabulous match! The Aged Smug. Some say that experience comes with getting old, but this wasn't the case with this aged fighter. To put it simply, he wasn't there to fight, but more like making it a funny show. And you know the result of funny shows in MMA. He was making a cobra-like statue that wasn't even clearly going after his opponent. That's wherein his opponent took advantage of it and banged a quick right hook into his face. Well, I guess he might have been experienced by now. Boxing Got Talent Show. Next up comes Boxing Got Talent Show. Hey, shouldn't there be a show like this? Anyways, our cocky fighter was not in the ring to fight, but to show his dancing skills. Well, they say you could only be great at a single thing, and boxing wasn't his thing. As the match started, he was put to the ground with a few punches directed to his head. Ultra Legend Cocky.